Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got a new promo for the crossover episode that's happening in December to break down for the three-way crossover, so I'll explain what's going on with that. Much better look at the new Flash suit and a breakdown of the first 6 episodes of The Flash. Danielle Panabaker also posted a new clip of her talking about the season 5 episodes, so I'll include that later in the video too. So if you're brand new to the channel, there's a new round of that Flash ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So first big thing, you actually get to see what the neck piece looks like here. So there's definitely no chin here. And because they're releasing this official promo for the crossover episode, it seems like this is what the suit is going to look like as of episode 9, which is going to be the crossover episode this year. So it's not going to be episode 8 like it would normally be. I've already done a video about that, how The Flash is going to have its 100th episode for episode 8, and they wanted to do their own special thing. So all the shows agreed to do the crossover 1 week later than they would normally do. The crossover episodes start December 9th, that's Sunday night, because remember now CW has programs on Sunday night, but it's The Flash on Sunday night, even though it normally airs on Tuesdays. The reason why they're probably doing Flash on Sunday night to start the crossover is because Barry has something to do with introducing the idea of the Batwoman character, and if Oliver hasn't gotten out of prison by episode 8 of Arrow, then maybe Barry has something to do with breaking him out of prison. Just remember that even though it's going to be all the characters in every single episode, it'll be Flash for the first night, Sunday night, then Arrow Monday night, then Supergirl is the last night, probably because they want to have some fun with the idea of Batman Superman with Batwoman Supergirl. So no Legends of Tomorrow during the crossover this year. I mentioned it in the last couple of crossover videos that I posted. They just didn't have room for those characters and they're doing something else, so that's their way of explaining why they're not around. But doesn't this promo make the suit look so much better than the last promo they released? I feel like they always sit on their really good art. Like if they're going to release a promo, like you really want it to look good. And even though all the best Flash promos are usually him in some action pose, like him actually using the Speed Force or running or doing something, the way they have him facing camera here just really makes it hard to see what's going on with the rest of the costume. So after seeing this, I just feel so much better about the situation, even though it is capital B bizarre that there is no chin piece. So hopefully that comes back before the end of the season. Like I said though, the other real big thing is that we have titles for the first 6 episodes and basic descriptions, so I'll just break those down now. We already knew about episode 1, the title for that is Nora, obviously pretty self-explanatory, all about Nora revealing why she came to the past. I've already done a video about that and the mistakes that she made. They're pretty self-explanatory, but even though we as fans have figured out most of what's going on with her character, this is going to be the TV show's version of that for people that don't watch YouTube videos. Like, this is who she is, this is why she's doing this is what's going on. Episode 2 is called Blocked. That's probably setting up the idea of Cicada being able to take away people's powers, killing metas off. So because it's really early to do a big villain episode, it's probably Cicada and then another lesser meta that has something to do with blocking people's powers. Usually episode titles are a little bit meta and they refer to all the storylines in an episode. So in the way that they do it every single year, you learn about the villain the first couple of episodes and they establish a couple of big concepts. They give you an idea for what's going on with his arc and how things work so that when he does something really crazy later in the season, it makes sense. Number 3 is the one that people were freaking out about because the title is literally The Death of Vibe. So a lot of people are wondering what this means because the actor Carlos Valdez has not left the TV show. So Cisco is still a character, but if he dies, does it have something to do with one of the mistakes that Nora makes or one of the new mistakes that they make? Because a lot of people just assume that this means that he dies during the season, but he could also be dead in the future. I think he's definitely dead in the future, but the producer said that while we're worried about the mistakes that Nora made, he said that they would continue to make more mistakes, and that probably has something to do with erasing people from the future because of things that they do while they're trying to take Cicada down during the season. So Cisco could just be a casualty of that in the short term, but then I'm obviously expecting him back before the end of the season. So just don't expect him to be riding the bench for a long time. Just think of this as a sensational title meant to give you a heart attack and think that he's going to die, but I don't think that he's leaving the show. So just keep an open mind about that. Episode 4 is called News Flash. Obviously, News Iris West is a reporter. It's really more a reference to the villain, Spin, who has the ability to make people's fears come true, but the TV show version that they're going with is going to put more of a social media spin on that. Episode 5 is called All Dolled Up. That's probably a reference to Ragdoll, the villain from the comics that's coming onto the show. We don't know exactly what the character is going to look like. They're still filming episode 4 right now as of me posting this video. So if we get pictures of him on the street, I'll include that in my next video. But I'll wait to talk about him a little bit more till we learn more about what's going on with the actual episode and the way that the TV show plans on using him. Episode 6 is called The Icicle Cometh, and that's obviously a reference to Caitlin, so it's probably all about her backstory in introducing the character that's going to be playing her father this season. So remember last season, we found out that she got into that accident, she manifested, so she predated the particle accelerator explosion, so she was either in an accident as a child, her parents did something to her, or her father is a meta, and he's going to be called Icicle, and she got her powers genetically through him. The way the casting announcement for that character reads is that he just shows up out of nowhere, and Caitlin and her mother have no idea where he's been this whole time, and he's really mysterious about what's going on. Like, he has something to hide that he doesn't reveal right away. So either it's one of two things, like he was a scientist, accidentally gave himself powers through his experiments gone wrong, then passed them on to Caitlin, or he himself was already a meta and then just passed those powers on to Caitlin. So I think part of the fun of bringing a character like her father on is that she feels connected to him, like, oh, I need to love my father, I've been missing him this whole time. Usually the way drama twists like that go down, though, is that you find that the person that showed up out of nowhere and pretends to be your friend winds up having some mysterious evil agenda. So I think the idea is they want to keep Caitlin's storyline in this morally gray area where she can be both Killer Frost and the Caitlin character that's all sunny and happy at the same time. Then the logical culmination of her arc is that she learns to balance both personas so that she can use her Killer Frost powers and she can be Caitlin whenever she wants to. But speaking of which, the Harrison Wells that they've been talking about on the show is supposed to be more militaristic and have secrets of his own, so he'll be like a shadier version of Harrison Wells that's a little more hardcore. Imagine the shooty, stabby version of Harrison Wells from Earth 2 that we first met during Season 2, and the shadier version of HR from the early Season 3 episodes before they totally learned to trust him.
Hey, dude, come on, you can't just go through his stuff. That's not...
I'm not going through his stuff.
See, this is what I'm talking about. What even is this?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What?
Who are you really?
We know you're hiding something.
You've been burned. Twice. By a man with the same face as me. I imagine it's hard to trust after something like that.
The only thing we don't really know is which Earth he's going to be from and whether or not he will ultimately help the team out or hurt them. Here's that shortened clip of Danielle Panabaker talking about some of the episodes this season.
I'm super excited to be directing my first episode of television, and I'm so glad I get to do it with everybody here on The Flash. I'm directing episode 18, which won't film until much later in the season, probably in February of next year. Do we get the origin about Killer Frost? Caitlin's still on a mission to find Killer Frost, so I'm excited for you guys to see how that turns out.
But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about the new Flash costume? And we're about due for another trailer, so there should be more footage dropping sometime in the next week or two. I'll name a new giveaway winner when I post new DC, but click here for brand new Dragon Ball Super and click here for brand new Flash. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.